Go ahead. Now you can start talking time-wise.
Okay.
All right, go for it.
Back to where I started. Well, in StarCraft, we have both the Vespene and the minerals,
Yes.
just
So
like in the game if you played it. They're both required to build anything that is on it, and you know what? That is great. It requires both of them. It requires a balance. You can't just have more one than the other. You can only put so many workers and any resource, or you're going to overmine it, and it keeps you thinking strategically what you have to do.
Why don't you tell the big difference between how the mining works in this game versus StarCraft? There's one huge difference.
Oh, the difference is that the minerals do not run out unless you put more workers on it than the pieces.
Well, other than that, how minerals in this game you can't stockpile.
Oh no, you cannot stockpile.
I could say why that in some ways that's professional StarCraft, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
It gives you limits to what you can do, which is nice.
But
especially to your opponent.
But you did remind me that yes, that is one thing I kind of wish maybe we did an attachment, maybe an extra rule where we could actually hold up to a certain amount of resources maybe in storage, and then use those resources in the future. So it may create some more strategy. But overall, they did, I think, a great job. With these planets, spraying out the resources, making you go to different planets to actually build, bases and improve upon.
So here's the one thing I say why I think the fact that you can't stockpile resources is a very professional grade StarCraft. Because remember our old friend Alex? We used to go there and play StarCraft every day. But don't worry about But see, the thing is,
all the time.
Yeah, he had some of those cheating programs. But especially early on in a computer game of StarCraft, any good player would never have any resources.
No,
they would be spending every single bit of
towards
resources.
The end, though.
Yeah, towards the end. But I mean, even until you get to a certain point where you have about 2 or 3 bases across the map, you would be spending every single resource you had to build as fast as you possibly could. And even in StarCraft, there's a limit to how many guys you could put in any one crystal or any one Vespene geyser for it just became totally inefficient to even have them there. So I mean, I like the fact that you can't stockpile them, but if you were playing a really power game of StarCraft, you would not be stockpiling resources anyway.
Yeah, but which is why I'm saying maybe have a limit, like just maybe 10 even.
Maybe.
I'm not saying much. If you had more than 10 stockpiles, then you're just being dumb.
Do you have anything to jump in, Ryan? We've been talking the whole 3 minutes. So.
Yeah,
I like the resources too, and no, I don't believe you should stockpile them up because that takes the fun totally out of it. I like the fact that you stockpile them, but you still got to watch your own back because there could be guys that could be ramming down your throat any second.
If you had some kind of stockpile method, you have to put in something to where you can actually deplete the resources other than this forced mining thing to have. Yeah. Otherwise, you would literally have this unlimited amount of resources you could build up, and it'd just be, I think it'd get out of control. Okay. All right, it's back to me. Okay, I've got my one.
Where's my?
It's right back in front of you there.
Oh, there we go.
All right, I've got my one haterade for the game. Just the one thing I really don't like. The game is too friggin' short by the default rules.
I have to agree.
And it's relatively minor.
After playing 3 games, I would have to agree with that.
Okay, so we need this guy over here. Okay, so what I mean by that is, like I was saying, there's these event cards that basically tick down to when the time runs out. So certain things will cause you to draw these event cards. And there's normally, I think, like 75 in the entire deck, or essentially there's 3 phases. Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3. Oops, I hit the wrong button on my timer. I got a few more minutes to run my mouth. Excellent. 60 seconds. So anyway,
And you didn't do that on purpose?
Essentially, no, I didn't do that on purpose, seriously. Stage 1 and Stage 2 both have 25 cards in them, and when they're all gone, you get to Stage 3, where the game's going to get very close to ending, because there's special victory conditions and things that come into play later on. And the thing is, according to the rule books, based on how many players you have, you're supposed to remove a certain amount of cards in both Stage 1 and Stage 2. But when you do that, the game is really too short. I mean, the first time we followed exactly the way it was the first time, and we didn't build up very many advanced units. We didn't get any big guys out. There was only like a few little battles. We didn't get anywhere near the normal victory totals of the way you can do it. So you guys agree with that, or what do you think?
Oh, I completely agree with that. I mean, if you're going, ever, fan of StarCraft, the, computer game, you want to build the big units. You want to have the fun of, using the Yamato gun and blasting away anything in your sights.
But to be carrier swarm,
and
guardians.
And you being able to, research the nuke and land one right on top of your Guardian and Ultralisk.
That's when we mean short. We're meaning it's taken us 3 hours to play this instead of the usual like 6 or 7, which I'm sure these guys play.
Short in terms of game actions. The actual length of the game, we ran probably 2 hours the first time. I think our extended
4 hours this time.
Probably three and a half,
3.5, 4, something like that.
So what we ended up doing, it's a very simple fix. We just took out a few of our event cards. And the way we played, I think it actually worked out pretty good, where if you take out half as many event cards as like what the rulebook says, so essentially for out of stage 1 and stage 2, I think we get to a pretty good length, because by the time we got done with our game, we just entered stage 3. So the very last turn, both myself and Kyle were eligible for our special victories.
And then he had his ability to win.
And he had he could have won by normal victory. So it was the point where I think is a very good balance. If you add up like maybe twice as many cards what the rule book suggests, kind of thing. So,
based on 3 players and 2 players. I don't know how about 4 players. We'll have to see.
Yeah, sometime we'll have to get to 4 or 5, maybe in 6 players. But there would be a lot of downtime in a 6-player game.
Oh man, that thing would take a long time.
I had a question about the fact what do you guys think about like ending the game as just wiping out your opponent?
That's a possibility. We could just always add that.
Really long though.
It would take a long time, but it would be a heck of a lot of fun.
Up to stage 3, and then the last card of stage 3 it would be the actual end. But the whole game we would be playing till trying to kill each other, and then there would be a tie. I guess.
I think
there has to be still an end though.
The thing is, you almost have to have something in that case to deplete resources just naturally without them being forced mined. Otherwise, the game could go on for hours upon hours and hours.
Oh, you're destroying each other's bases.
Well, yeah, but even then, you can get yourself in stalemates pretty dang quickly. Like, I mean, over here, Kyle kind of wipes you out, then you went back and wiped out Kyle on the planet.
Well, that's where strategy comes into play.
But you can go back for hours and hours. But the last little thing, and just on that, there is rules in the back of the book for that kind of game.
Okay. Really?
But it just says you could play until everyone's eliminated instead of normal victory conditions.
You can play until we're 80 years old, too.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, and I bet it could go on that long. So anyway, I get our cards back. Your turn, Ryan. What do you want to do next?